Ty VG is a rapper based out of Portland, Oregon. He is one of the pioneers in the rap industry when it comes to Asians that are actually from the streets. Yes, I understand MC Jin might have been before Ty, but come on now, when it comes to street cred, Ty is in another league compared to our man MC Jin. By the age of 13, he was already getting into his first shootouts, and even had his house lit up with over 50 rounds. When it comes to authenticity in your lyrics, Ty definitely lived what he was rapping about. And in this video, we're gonna take a dive into Ty's career as an artist and also look into the things he was getting into in the streets. So if you were growing up in the early 2000s, there's a good chance that Ty VG was on your playlist. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, Ty was a little bit before my time, but I definitely wanted to get this video out because the fans have been asking me about this probably since the first day I really started uploading these videos, and it's a little bit insane to take a look at his career and see how he was able to constantly evolve and move with the music. Now, before we get into the video, I just have to give a quick shout out to Manscaped. No, this is not a paid sponsorship. So I myself do use Manscaped, and it was pretty awesome when they decided to send me pretty much their whole care package, their 4.0. They sent me these clippers. I just wanted to give a huge thank you to Manscaped for hooking your boy up. But anyways, if you want me to cover something in particular, don't forget to get at me on Instagram. But without further ado, let's get into it. Ty began his journey in Nashville, Tennessee on September 11th, 1983. By the age of 5, Ty and his mother relocated to San Jose, California, and this is where he would stay until the age of 12. Being the middle child out of 3 brothers, it wasn't easy for his mother while they were growing up. Ty's father wasn't around for most of his life and was essentially a deadbeat dad. This relationship with his father caused him to turn to the streets, and this is a story that is all too common amongst young boys that are just seeking acceptance and praise. If they aren't getting it at their home, they will seek it out from their peers. In 1993, Ty and his mother moved to Portland, Oregon. Being a single mother trying to support her family, she had to work 2 to 3 minimum wage jobs just to make ends meet. Asian gangs were becoming a real problem in Portland back in the 90s. By the year 1993, it was reported that up to 15,000 Asian gang members resided in California alone. These gang members would travel from Seattle to Mexico, looking for new recruits and also hitting a bunch of licks in the process. Asian gangs have always been extremely mobile. If shit is getting too hot in LA, they will travel to cities like Portland, Seattle, and other cities along the coast to try and avoid the heat from the authorities. By the year 1998, it was believed that up to 40 Asian gangs were operating in the city of Portland, Oregon, and authorities would quickly realize that the Asian gangs were some of the fastest growing organizations and also some of the most violent. Ty was surrounded by gang culture from an early age, and of course, there's no one to watch him while his mom was at work, so naturally, he would spend a lot of his days roaming the streets and eventually got involved in gang-related activities. By the age of 13, Ty caught his first gun charge with a few other gang members and was facing 9 years in prison, but got let off the hook with just probation due to the fact that this was his first gun charge and he was also a juvenile. This, however, didn't teach Ty anything, and he went right back to the streets after being released. He would be involved in multiple shootings and also got stabbed in the face by rival gang members with pool sticks. Needless to say, Ty has been in a lot of messy situations. He's been involved in moments that could have ended his life, but none of these events would really wake him up. Even the time a house party that he was attending got lit up with over 40 rounds. During this incident, Ty did get hit, but it wasn't fatal, and he was still set in his ways, and all he could think about was retaliation.
But when I heard that, I went to grab my gun, and when I grabbed the gun, I cocked it back, and when I ran to the front door to open it to shoot back, the whole door got lit up. Right when I grabbed the doorknob and I was about to turn it, the whole door got lit up from the top to bottom, just So right when the door started busting, I dived down and I was trying to crawl out to get to a safer place. But when I crawled, the bullets were flying this way, and when I crawled, I put my arm up, and it hit me in my arm right here.
In the year 2000, Ty released his first EP titled Portland Love, and this EP would bless the world with the hit single Vietnamese Gang. I be still creeping through the block with the Glock, 'cause my mom gon'
crazy. My homie posted on the roof and buzzing bitches, but 380 fools hate me, so I got to put it down for my clique. Screaming out Vietnamese, cause I'm down with my shit, bitch.
So, judging from the style of music that Ty was releasing back in the year 2000, I think it's safe to assume that he was still set in the streets and he was still in the same old mentality. But Ty's life would change on October 20th, 2001, because on this day, his first son was born. And this was the moment that really made Ty want to change for the better. Ty realized that he had dodged death one too many times, and it was definitely a time to make a pivot in his career. And this is also around the time where he would get linked up with 454 Entertainment. After dropping his first EP, he dropped his very first album, Together We Rise. And this album is still selling copies to this very day. And this is where I have to bring up Ty's career as a whole. This man has been dropping projects since the year 2000. And to be quite honest, Ty has got to be one of the most underrated rappers. It's impressive that he's still able to release music because we all know music is constantly evolving and it's really easy to get left in the dust. But Ty has continued to bless us with some awesome tracks even to this very day, and that is just pure talent. Ty evolved a lot throughout his career. If you take a look at his older songs, there's a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony influence, and this is also something he would reference being one of his biggest influences before he started rapping. But throughout the years, he's definitely grown into his own sound. Throughout all this time, Ty has definitely developed a cult following. The amount of comments that I got about, dude, you gotta do a video on Ty VIET, and the comments that I see on his music videos, his fans have been rocking with him since probably before 2000. And that really says a lot because fans don't just stick around if you don't resonate with them. And this is also where I have to bring up the fact that Ty VG never got signed to a major record label. Despite never being signed to a major record label, Ty has continued to drop some amazing pieces of work. The fan base he's developed throughout the years is incredibly strong, and the best part about his story is that he's still alive to tell it. And we're gonna get to see what the next chapter is for our man Ty VG. Ty has really been an inspiration to a lot of these cats out here, and it's always awesome to see somebody that was once involved in a very dark reality come out the other side to pursue his passions and see such success. And you can tell Ty has really grown a lot as a person because he's one to be very expressive in his lyrics, and the stuff that he talks about today is very different from the things he talked about before. And let's be honest, what sells today is violence, and 7 out of the 10 rappers that rap about this shit ain't really living that life, but it sells, so everybody wants to talk about packing poles, dropping bodies, guns in videos, flexing a life that they're not about at all. But Ty has remained true to himself, and he's left that part of his life in the past. And I think that's something that we have to respect. If you guys made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. It means the world to me that you guys finished the entire video. And while I have your guys' attention, I just wanted to announce that I will be starting a Twitch channel. Now, I've already been on Twitch before, and it's really one of my dreams to just be able to play games, talk to the fans, interact with the chat, and just have a good time. And I've been having a really good time with my YouTube. I'm sorry, my phone's going off. Let me mute this very rude person. But yeah, so basically, I've been having a really good time on these YouTube live streams, talking with you guys, and it would be a dream if my Twitch channel got even 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Make sure you leave a comment if I miss anything about Ty's career. But until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.